What is travel? Travel is a community. It is a collection of unparalleled experiences. It is everything from breathtaking natural wonders to sensory discovery, cultural exploration to incredible encounters with incredible people. Travel connects us. It challenges us. It is total relaxation to pure adrenaline. It is shared time to solo adventure. Travel gives us lifelong memories and the most amazing stories to tell. We cannot travel right now. Our health and safety is paramount. But even when we have to stay apart, travel can still bring us closer. So, from homes all around the world, let's keep the spark alive together. Join us as we gather together in travel and celebrate what travel means to each of us. Share your stories, your most prized memories, or greatest adventures. Your favorite images, videos, or the songs you've heard. Inspire and help others. Fuel their bucket lists and let them grow yours. Make us laugh or cry. Make our jaws drop or eyes widen. Let us support one another in this time. Keep the flame of travel burning and wanderlust alive. Because travel is a community, and that is how communities thrive.
Hello, everyone. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to this ITIC Virtual Investment Summit in partnership with WTM London. It's on the future of travel and tourism and financial strategies for recovery. I'm Rajan Datar, a broadcaster and journalist specializing in travel, and it's my great honor to be the moderator for this event. The vast majority of businesses globally that depend on tourism and travel are desperate to reopen and begin operating under the new normal. But what will this new normal be? This conference will be addressing their deep concerns. We've got experts from health and finance, government ministers, policymakers, and leaders from the travel and tourism sector. And the aim is to connect them with investors to advise, discuss, and consider solutions to reactivate the tourism industry for a better future. This is a critical juncture for this industry. Where do we go from here? Can we find opportunities as well as overcome the inevitable hurdles in these next months and years? How can we reassure not just tourists, but people who work in the industry, and there are tens and millions of those, and potential investors, that travel can be reinvigorated, maybe redefined in this new world. And the aim of this conference is to come up with suggestions, solutions, and roadmaps for that indeed to be possible. We've got a packed agenda ahead of us with sessions involving many of the most influential and forward-thinking people in the travel industry. You can see them listed, I believe, on the online conference program. But before we proceed, I thought I'd like to welcome the man with perhaps the clearest oversight of all of us on how we can negotiate our way through this latest episode in the always eventful history of travel and tourism. Dr. Taleb Rifai, Chairman ITIC and former Secretary General of the UNWTO. Taleb, you've seen a lot of things happen in your time in this business, but these are truly tumultuous times. Is there any cause for optimism?
Thank you so much, Rajan. You've been so kind, so gracious all the time with me. Thank you. I certainly do. I am an optimist. I must warn everybody about this. I'm an optimist by nature, but what I say is realism, optimism. I believe that there is an opportunity coming out of every crisis. There are many opportunities that can come out of this. Now, the most important opportunity here is to see how the new norm is going to look like and work towards it. Travel and tourism has been a tremendous human activity and tremendous force for good, but it had its downside as well. It has its dark side like any other great human activities. We need to now look at the dark side and make it brighter. And that's possible. It's very possible because we're drafting a new chapter in our lives. The world before Corona is not going to be like the world after Corona. You've heard that so many times. It's a fact. I can give you some concrete examples, but now it's not the time to do it. We'll do it throughout this sessions here. What I want to say here, one of the most important outcomes of this crisis has been the role of governments. Every government is on its own now. All international and regional organizations have proven to be irrelevant. One good exception is WTTC, who we're having with us now. I'm very, very glad that Gloria's role has been one, picks up the pieces. The UN organizations, UN altogether, EU, AU, all of these have proven to be now not so active. We don't hear their voices anymore. So it's important that the world listens now to their governments. Governments have been playing a very aggressive role right from the beginning, but in varying degrees. This role now needs to be withdrawn a little bit slowly. They're aware of this. That's why the opening up has come so quickly, so sudden. That's what worries me a little bit. But I think eventually things are going to get worse, but they will get better eventually. That's for sure. Why is this conference important? It's important because it's about investment. Investment has two very important aspects. One, of course, is the revival of the economy, which is very important. Our economy now, we have not realized how much damage we have done to it. We've not felt it yet. People are going to be going down the streets now, for sure, because this is a very hard economic situation. But more important than the economy is the psychological impact of investment. Investment is a sign of confidence. Don't invest your money in a place that is not sure for you. So if you get investment into a certain place, that means it's a signature of confidence in that place. That's why this important conference is on investment. Investment has two aspects. One is the direct economy. The other one is the psychological effect of having a signage of confidence that is being assigned to the place. And we're partnering with WTM. I'm very happy that Simon's with us now. WTM is the largest and most impactful tourism gathering throughout history. I've been honored to take part in it throughout the years before. Now it's time for us to join hands together, Simon. I'm very happy that ITIC and WTM are joining hands in this. ITIC has been very active in the investment field in tourism, because when we talk about tourism, sometimes we tend to talk only about among ourselves. We preach to the converts. We need to talk to the investment people. We need to talk to the money people, the people that have the means of doing something about it. That's why this is a very important conference. The last point I want to make is about Saudi Arabia. It's been playing a very special role in this meeting. And we'll be having some meetings later on, some encounters with His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz, who I'm very, very happy that he's joining us now on the other line. Saudi Arabia is important because Saudi Arabia today is also heading the G20 group. The G20 group may be a good alternative to rebuild the international system. International system needs restructuring now. And I believe in November, when the G20 would meet in Saudi Arabia under the leadership of Saudi Arabia, we have a good opportunity to reconstruct this new world order. I hope you will all enjoy this morning and evening with us. I'm very, very grateful to everyone. We have 1,250 participants, as I understand from Ibrahim. Now, you tell you about it, over 110 countries are participating here. I want to welcome all particular good ministers, Minister Bala, Minister Bartlett, Minister Majd Shweki from Jordan. All these ministers are more than welcome today. Thank you so much, Rajan. I'm sorry I took more time than I should have. Bye-bye. See you.
Thank you, Taleb. Don't worry, we're all used to it, but it's all worth listening to. You mentioned him. You mentioned him. Let me introduce now Simon Press, Senior Exhibition Director, WTM London. Simon, hello. I mean, how does the WTM see its role in this big march to recovery ahead of us?
Well, good morning to you all. And before I start, I'd just like to thank ITIC for inviting me and WTM London to take part in this great summit. And to say that on behalf of WTM London, our thoughts are with you all. Now, for some of you who might be listening in and watching and not familiar with WTM London, we're the leading global event for the travel industry, where more than £3.75 billion worth of deals are generated every year in November. We're committed to support the industry as it adapts to this unique challenges of COVID and prepares for recovery. And that's what I think this event is all about, is building and to help the industry, the global travel and tourism industry, to help that rebuild over the coming weeks and months and years. Today, the ITIC Virtual Summit in partnership with WTM London will carry on our conversation on how to reopen the tourism industry. And WTM London will play a pivotal role in that opportunity to help rebuild, to learn from each other in November of this year in Excel in London. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simon. Ibrahim Ayoub, who is the Group CEO and MD of ITIC Limited. Ibrahim, ITIC is all about guiding investment in the travel industry, but how much can we think about this now? Nothing.
Unmute yourself.
I think you're on mute.
Right.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Taleb. Thank you, Rajan. Thank you, Simon. First of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world. I wish you all a warm welcome. It is an immense pleasure for ITIC to organize this virtual summit in partnership with World Travel Market WTM London. Thank you, Simon. Our collaboration started last November, a conference in London during WTM and the London Travel Week. I think our complementarities have generated a strong synergy, which will benefit the attendees of our virtual summit today. Our virtual summit has exceeded our initial expectation, like Taleb said. More than 1,250 people registered from 103 countries, precisely, from around the world, to be exposed to the critical thinking and fast-forward ideas of our speakers and moderators. And we thank the ministers who will join us later on today. I would say with the COVID-19 pandemic, ITIC has transformed its conferences on a virtual platform, testifying our agility to adapt to the changing socioeconomic situation, so as to respond to the new norms of safety and normality. The World Wide Web is today shrinking to the world and eliminating physical borders. However, new issues are arising, especially due to our higher dependency on the digital environment. Who would have said that we are carrying our conference like this, you know? And the way I would describe the situation, the challenging time we are having is just like, imagine your computer that you use, your laptop or your phone, where you store everything in it, your life, your bank account, all your important documents. And the next day when you wake up, it's all gone. You know, you need to reboot, you need to restart. And this is exactly the situation where the world is today. I would define it literally. So we need to reboot the world. We need to relook about new things in that new economic order, right? So we will need to reboot and try our daily life, just like it has been after the disruptive, COVID outbreak. Fortunately, we have both the mindsets and capacity to bounce back. I'm confident that this virtual summit will enable you to find solutions to the current problems and issues affecting the tourism industry with regards to investment, and open to new opportunities for you in these times of uncertainties. I must say a big thank you to all our speakers and moderators, to you and all the attendees around the world, 103 countries this morning, right? Thank you to our godfather, Taleb Rifai. Thank you again, Simon, for joining hands together. And I wish you a pleasant and fruitful summit, and may our future look brighter. Thank you.
Thank you.